Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast between Mouz, Hasu, and Root QXC, this time in the Xel'Naga Caverns. This is game 1 in a best of 3 matchup, I believe. QXC spawning on the north side of Xel'Naga Caverns as the purple Terran player. Meanwhile, Mouz Hasu or Hasu Obs spawning on the south side of the map as the blue Protoss. I believe it's Hasu Obs. Just going by the name Mouz Hasu, as Mouz or Team Mouz Sports is part of his team. So yeah, this game is now underway. Taking a look at the production tab. Pretty much standard openings coming in from both players so far. I do not see any early scouting probes in order to set up proxy pylons. There's that one pylon being set up there, and now Hasu Obs most likely going to just continue to train up more and more probes. Meanwhile, back over here, QXC opting to not build a supply depot over here on his front door, instead wanting to get this one SCV back to mining much more quickly. Perhaps we'll set up the barracks here, and then if need be, set up a bunker here, which can later be salvaged. We do see the gateway now. No gateway yet, as Hasu Obs now making its way out, making sure that there is no proxy barracks back over here. Very smart play, as he wants to make sure that QXC is not going for any cheese plays so far, as we now have a barracks being placed down here. So interesting placement on this barracks. It is a little bit further back, so it's going to force this probe to try to come in and then gain more sight, as also the refinery also coming into play. So QXC a little bit tight on this opening back here will make it very difficult for any units to run in along this side. We do see one SCV now making its way out. One of the benefits of building the barracks over here very close to your mineral line is that it allows you to pull SCVs off and offer protection against this one very vulnerable SCV as it's building. So that's one of the reasons why that's coming in. And now a probe grabbing some minerals and now able to make its way back out. We do see that there is one SCV coming in from QXC. We'll walk up this ramp in just a moment, and oh, very nice sneaky play using this one probe here, and it looked like he was going to return home, but instead we'll be placing on a proxy pylon in just a little bit. Back here we now see a cybernetics core coming into play. SCV trying to deal some damage towards that one pylon. However, that pylon will not get taken down. Plenty of shields as a second assimilator now coming online. We do see, however, one Marine making its way over and will quickly scout out this one probe. So this probe will not be able to get any serious damage done. No proxy pylon in play. Very nice by QXC, making sure that there are no proxy pylons in the base. And now two Marines making their way out across the map. Only losing one probe though, no proxy pylon in the base, so at least Hasu will not be supply locked for quite some time, as now we see the robotics facility coming online. So with that robotics facility, it looks like it's going to be a one gate into a robotics facility, and now an SCV coming in. Are we going to get a bunker? If we get a bunker play, this would be very interesting indeed, as this SCV just is still wandering around on the inside. However, a stalker now coming online as well. The SCV now returning home, perhaps going to set up a bunker here, and there it is. There's that bunker, and now Hasu is currently chrono boosting that stalker, so that stalker will be able to come out in about 32 units of time, and now it's going to take a little bit more time, as there are now Marines sitting over here, but the bunker needs a lot of time to build. Marines now trying to make their way over here. Marines fighting against this one stalker, one low hit point Marine backing off, probes coming off as well, very nicely. Then down goes that, and QXC is not going to be successful with this bunker harassment. However, the SCV is able to barely pull out, and now this one bunker is in place. Stalker continuing to give chase there. And now we have more and more Marines coming out to join in on this location here. Stalker just looking at that one bunker, not really caring too much about it. And now that's also a sentry coming in. So the sentry will be able to get off some force fields as well. Marines now shooting up onto that high ground with that sight there. So nicely done using the sight from the bunker. And now QXC, I believe, has to salvage this one bunker, as this bunker is just sitting there offering a lot of harassment and a lot of dangerous potential so far. As an observer now making its way across the map, a stalker continuing to give chase will be able to get up 4 kills already, taking down many Marines. However, one Marine able to get into that bunker, and now perhaps needs to jump back in, as that stalker is going to currently be stuck as well. So one Marine just walking around the map. There are probes off the mineral line, so those probes are moving a little bit much more quickly, will be able to catch up, and now one stalker able to just shoot down that Marine. Down it goes, and that bunker, I believe, was salvaged. Yeah, it was salvaged, as that stalker does not have a kill. Back here, we now see Marines continuing to be trained up here. We do see Banshees now being trained. However, there is not any cloaking research. So it does not look like it is going to be in cloaked Banshees, just one Banshee so far. And now there is that early bunker that I was talking about, and trying to hold off against these stalkers and this one sentry. Hasu and QXC both sitting within one base play so far, and now we see another gateway coming in online. So it's going to be a transition into a 3-gate with the robotics bay. We do see that there is now a factory making its way out across the map in order to gain some sight. This one Banshee already low on hit points, down to 80 hit points there, and now one observer watching both the main base and the natural expansion all at the same time. One Banshee trying to make its way over there. The Banshee, however, moving fairly slowly compared to these Stalkers. Stalkers will be able to catch up to it very, very quickly, and there it goes, getting off another round of attack. Down to 20 hit points it goes, and that Banshee needs to return home in order to get some additional repairing by those SCVs. There is one Raven now. One Raven trying to shoot down that one observer. Observer down it goes. So there's a loss of 100 gas and 50 minerals there as those Stalkers once again activate this Xel'Naga Watchtower. So both sides confining and now trying to expand into this natural expansion location here. We do see that there is one SCV currently repairing, and now down goes this SCV. SCV now shot down, and now with that command center and also a force field being placed down. Very nicely done, so that force field will prevent any engagement so far. However, the bunker does have a range of 6, and the sentry once again dropping another force field, making it very difficult to even try to move out at any time. One SCV continuing to repair this one Banshee here, and now finally making its way out. This command center going to land here. Command center perhaps should have been upgraded to an orbital command center first before moving out. The Raven does or will have enough energy for, I believe, a point defense drone. There we go, up to 100 energy now, as these Stalkers once again engage. Back over here, you can see Hasu now transitioning into taking his natural expansion here, continuing the chrono boost, training up 2 probes, and now getting Colossus. So the Colossus is currently being trained. However, the extended thermal lance research is not being researched just quite yet. Meanwhile, you can see QXC training up a lot of Marines, Marauders, and now upgrading to an orbital command, moving out with these units. However, there are no medevacs in this group. QXC is not moving out with any combat shields. Finally researching this combat shield 10 minutes into this game. So those Marines will be able to get taken down by those Zealots and those Stalkers and those Colossi very quickly. In comes the point defense drone. However, the point defense drone now out of energy. The Raven's still in the air, trying to offer as much sight as possible, but this is not going to be a good fight for QXC. QXC going to lose a lot of units so far, and now continuing to push. In comes another Marauder, but that Marauder is not going to be able to do all that much. Marauder trying to return and run all the way home. That Marauder will be able to perhaps get into this location here, and then that Stim should be, should be stopping and now returning back. We do see the factory from QXC now trying to move out and do some additional scouting as well. Perhaps it can land back here and then train up Hellions. If it can train up some Hellions and then run into this probe line, it can get a lot of kills very, very quickly. Marauders and Marines that once again on the move. Another starport being built by QXC. So QXC going into perhaps a stronger tech play. Meanwhile, back over in the base of Hasu. Hasu still running off of some gateways so far. We currently see a forge coming online, an additional gateway as well. So it's going to be a 4-gate with a forge. So perhaps we're going to get that level 1 weapons upgrade in just a moment. And that will be very strong indeed. Colossi with that level 1's weapon upgrade and that extended thermal lance research, very strong against planetary fortresses and also against a mass infantry army. However, we see that there is going to be a reactor being built by QXC on one starport. So this will allow for double training of Vikings, and those Vikings are going to be a strong counter to the Colossus. So as long if Hasu overinvests into Colossi, those Vikings will be able to shoot them down very, very quickly. However, if Hasu transitions into Immortals, Immortals will be very, very powerful against Vikings, as Vikings need to go into that ground mode in order to fight back. And Immortals deal a large amount of damage towards Vikings, 50 damage per attack, 55 after the level 1 weapon upgrade. Taking a look at the income tab, 46 harvesters for QXC, 49 for Mouz Hasu. However, those mules are being called down, so QXC getting a little bit of an economic lead so far. And now in comes another movement here, a scanner sweep revealing the Colossus coming in. So production-wise, we do see double training of Vikings, and now we also have a 1 bunker, which will quickly get taken down there. And now in comes a couple of those Marauders using those concussive shells, slowing down some of those units. We do know no point defense drone. A little surprised by that. There we go. There's that point defense drone stopping down all of those Stalkers. and now Marauder is just trying to blast their way towards the rest of these Stalkers here. However, those Colossus just standing tall, able to slice through, deal a lot of damage, and in come those Vikings. So those Vikings now are going to be able to give chase very, very easily towards those Colossus. Colossus is going to take a lot of damage, and there's only 3 Colossus, no Stalkers in this group just so far, so those Vikings will be able to pick off a lot of those units very, very quickly. Hasu continuing to just try to move away with those Colossus, and now in come those Stalkers. So Stalkers are now going to start giving chase to those units here, and those Vikings now trying to back away, making sure that those Stalkers do not have the correct, are not able to traverse this terrain very, very easily. However, none of those Colossi were taken down. Level 1 weapons upgrade, 1 Colossus did take some critical damage. Back over here, there was 1 Banshee. Banshee quickly got up to 6 kills, so double Banshee harassment coming in so far. However, in come some Stalkers. These Banshees will be forced to return and retreat home. There are no SCVs anywhere nearby to repair this one particular Banshee, so 9 kills between those 2 units there. So QXC showing that he's very, very strong with his multi-unit management, able to keep track of these Banshees and also use Vikings and shoot down some of those Colossus there. We now see the Colossus making their way towards these destructible rocks, will be able to quickly find this one factory here. This factory will get taken down relatively quickly. Army-wise, we see 3,400 for QXC, 2,200 for Mouz Hasu. So Hasu currently a little bit behind in the army and in the economic game. We should probably see these destructible rocks get taken down in just a moment, but I'm still surprised that there are not that many medevacs. QXC not getting that many medevacs. Oh, spoke too soon. 2 medevacs now healing the rest of this bio army. And then as these rocks get taken down, a planetary fortress there will give QXE an even stronger economic advantage. A pylon now being placed down here in addition to a nexus, so Hasu will be able to reinforce this location relatively quickly. We also see 4 gateways, 1 robotics facility, but nothing currently being produced. The gateways, the 4 gateways, never mind, they are currently on cooldown now. 1 proxy pylon here by the Xel'Naga watchtower. As these units now are on the move, there are 5 Vikings in the air, and those Vikings will be able to shoot down these Colossus very, very quickly. No armor upgrades at all, and those Vikings with that range of 9 dealing a lot of damage relatively quickly. Income Marauders, we are going to get a point defense drone most likely, and now quickly cloaking. So Marauders and Marines continuing to fight back and forth. However, those Colossus dealing a lot of damage towards this bio army. The Vikings trying to shoot down, trying to get some of those Colossi down. 1 Colossus down, a 2nd Colossus should get taken down. There it goes. However, both sides have just taken a lot of damage so far. Raven still in the air trying to hold back this attack. Probes coming off the mineral line, dealing a lot of damage as well. QXE losing a lot of those medevacs, and the rest of these units will be forced to retreat. QXE, depending on how much longer that stim pack is going to be online, those Stalkers may not be able to catch up, as those medevacs now trying to return home once again, trying to heal back up the rest of those units, and now picking it up to try to give them a little bit more movement speed. Needs to drop these units in just a second, and then try to re-engage here. Stalkers and Colossi. So wow, Hasu doing a great job just countering that, getting Stalkers on the ground, Stalkers with that level 1 weapons upgrade. I do believe that we finally have weapons upgrade on QXC as well. So QXC, level 1 infantry upgrade, and Marauders. With Marauders and Marines, the medevacs need to unload that cargo in order to heal up all of those units. More Vikings in the air. Once again, 5 Vikings in the air. Back over here, we now see an observer observing this 1 command center will be landing in just a moment. And now as QXC is going to be mining out of his main base in just a moment, it needs to transfer some probes over and then get this particular mineral patch saturated in just a moment. There we go, upgrading to a planetary fortress, deciding not to try to take this gold mineral patch, instead placing a planetary fortress here. However, with those Colossi and that extended thermal lance research, that range of 6 from the planetary fortress will not be able to attack the Colossi with a range of 9. Stay tuned for part 2 of this replay between Mouz Hasu and Root QXC here in the Xel'Naga Caverns.